Has anyone here watching this video here and now ever thought before? According to Queen's University, humans on average have about 6,200 thoughts per day. This may not appear to be a lot, but when you consider on average 47% of our own waking hours are spent thinking about things other than what we are currently doing, according to the Harvard Gazette, this may be more prevalent and significant than it seems. The evolution of human consciousness has conditioned you and me to naturally avoid being present by allowing our attention to be taken over by hypothetical circumstances about something that occurred or may not even happen at all. This seems to be our primary mental state, at least half of the time. The Harvard Gazette writes, unlike other animals, humans spend a lot of time thinking about what isn't going on around them, contemplating events that happened in the past, might happen in the future, or may not even happen at all. Indeed, mind-wandering appears to be the human brain's default mode of operation. Being able to use the mind as a tool allows us to learn from our mistakes and plan for coming circumstances. It is a practical tool that is incredibly useful if used in the correct manner and to the right extent. However, when we constantly use this tool, we are not only creating a hypothetical world for ourselves, but we are actually living in it as well, whether we know it or not. Whatever we focus on creates our reality, and if we are regularly giving our attention to things that are imaginary, then we are missing out on what is real, the present moment. We become engulfed, dominated, and controlled by our thoughts. A study done by Erie Insurance found that being generally distracted or lost in thought, known as daydreaming, is the #1 distraction noted in fatal crashes, accounting for 61% of distracted drivers in car accidents. This is one of the many examples where our attention is heavily focused on our minds. We enter an almost hypnotic-like state that masks our eyes from being able to see the real world until we become consciously aware of the state we are in. We are thinking about things that we are not currently doing nearly half of our waking hours. Through repetition, this becomes a habit and eventually, if done enough, turns into an addiction that we may not even know we have. To think every developed and healthy human being overuses their mind to create suffering for themselves and for others is a scary thought. But what if I told you the solution has been with you all along? Placing 100% of our attention within this present moment here and now is the solution. It first starts with you realizing that you are not your thoughts. Elizabeth Thornton from Psychology Today writes, if we use our logic, we can conclude that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are certainly part of us. They come from us, but we are not our thoughts. It is important to remember that a thought is harmless unless we believe them and act on them. As the subject, since thoughts are an object of our awareness, you have the power to challenge every thought, end quote. This recognition allows for space to develop within your attention field, specifically the ability to observe and be aware of your own spontaneous and continual thoughts. In other words, you are watching your thinking habits within this present moment. Through this, regular thought patterns, responses, and reactions that were previously unconscious are revealed within the conscious field. Inspired by Shakespeare, this presents a choice to think or not to think. Through the decision, you are no longer blindly giving into thoughts that take you out of the moment. You let the thought be as it is. The mental form is not expanded due to the fact you are no longer feeding more fuel to the flame. The fuel is your attention. Whatever you focus on grows. Therefore, by keeping your attention at surface level, you are not completely taken over by them. This choice will be uncomfortable because the brain does not find pleasure in a change of routine. But as you begin to shift your attention, this will recondition you and flip the script. If the shift from the imagination to the present is successfully implemented within an individual, over time this will develop into their primary mental state. Particularly through repetition, new habits form, and thinking will naturally be used as a tool when needed and not overutilized within the form of who you are. Our attention, which provides energy to thinking, is the root view to our reality. It affects everything you do within your life. And if you alter that to your benefit, life will be amazing. Let me describe for you what that will look like. Being present presents the shift away from the irrational beliefs emanating from thoughts. This transfer of attention from hypothetical assumptions to real facts allows individuals to observe and avoid unneeded suffering by developing a clear perception and understanding of reality. Have you ever found yourself in an adverse situation? One that has a lasting impact on you for even minutes, hours, days, months, or even years after the situation occurs? I know I have. These types of situations are where we tend to think the most, due to the intensity of the circumstance. Endless perspectives of analysis continue on and on, consuming our entire attention, and more times than not, taking away our present moment for significant periods of time. Now, if being present is your primary state, and you only use your mind when it is necessary, it will make getting through these abnormal situations a hell of a lot easier. Due to the fact, even though you may think for a short period of time, that conscious awareness you have developed will allow you to be able to control your attention and place it within the present moment. In other words, you are accepting the thoughts that come in at surface value through observation. Thus, the thoughts are not expanded and lose their weight within your consciousness because your attention is in the now. You will still do what is necessary and act accordingly, but rather than performing the action within an exaggerated headspace the entire time, you will be present while moving towards a solution effectively and efficiently. 99% of self-inflicted suffering will be avoided. And the hypothetical assumptions that appear as facts about the past and the future will no longer keep you in a prison of limitation, because every moment is an opportunity for you to change your life circumstance through concentration of this present moment rather than the imagination. A sense of calmness, peace, and abundance will be with you because regardless of the situation, you are not creating more problems for yourself. You are once again moving towards a solution based on present moment circumstances. It is important to note that you do not even have to visualize a version of yourself in the future. Because even though those habits will take time and thoughts will come into your attention, you can start this process right here, right now. Right here, right now, I want you to stop and observe this present moment. At this moment in time, notice yourself breathing, the beat of your heart, your posture, what you are feeling, the thoughts that are appearing, your attention and awareness shifting from each subject matter effortlessly. No story, no intention, no quest to find something. Just be with all that you already are within this present moment, all without judgment. Notice how your attention is not being overtaken by thought. Thus, you are no longer continually fueling hypothetical assumptions by way of unconscious habits. You are currently in the real with facts that go beyond the belief of the mind. Through this, you avoid unneeded suffering by developing a clear perception and understanding of reality. Focus your attention on the now anytime you find yourself in a constant autopilot, an unconscious stream of thought that is focused on the past and the future for significant periods of time. Once again, being present presents the shift away from irrational beliefs emanating from thoughts. This transfer of attention from hypothetical assumptions to real facts allows individuals to observe and avoid unneeded suffering by developing a clear perception and understanding of reality. You have access to the now at any time because it is eternal. Everything you do occurs within this present moment. Thank you.